everybody. Today's date is July 19th, 2017, and my name is Leslie Williams. I live in La Jolla, California, San Diego County. I am a target, victim, and activist concerning the criminal expeditions of what is known as organized stalking, which can also be termed as gang stalking. This crime is also called COINTELPRO. Okay. The main name that this crime goes by is gang stalking. And excuse me. So the reason why I decided to make this video today, I don't feel very good, so it's not going to be a very long video. But this is a lawyer video. It's an evidence video for lawyers, so it's not part of the actual lawyer series, because I try to dedicate those videos to exposing details pertaining to what's been happening to me physically by and through the community-based harassment, which is the gang stalking, and the physical interactions with individuals who are participating in this crime, protecting them, and techniques and methods and stuff like that used and that have been used. The evidence videos for lawyers are basically so the lawyers can use those videos to synthesize in with the lawyer videos and the other videos that I plan on copying and pasting into email accounts, sending the emails to myself, printing them out, and then faxing them, hand delivering them, sending them to law firms, certified mail return receipt. So this is a evidence video for lawyers. Now, bear with me in this video because I don't feel well today. I woke up with, I wake up every day and experience practically almost non-stop stress, active stress every day, okay, as a result of being a victim of this crime and dealing with the circumstances that this crime intentionally put me in. One of those crimes being the homelessness. Now, I'm not broke, okay, I get Social Security disability, but I have no doubt in my mind at all that they're going to eventually take that away, probably after the federal student loan will act like they're presenting me a package that will fit and be and customized to the Social Security disability payments that I get a month. They'll act like, well, we're here to help you. And then they'll say, you only have to pay $40 a month, $60 a month, $70 a month. Once I sign that agreement, the Social Security will be taken away from me within a year and a half, 2 years. Okay. Now, the reason why I know for a fact that this is the perpetrators who are committing these crimes against me and thousands of other victims who are all over the internet begging for help. Okay. We all know that are victims of this crime. We begin to become aware, and then we literally become aware that this is a crime that is perpetrated by the government. Absolutely. Otherwise they'd be prosecuted. You know, at least. Okay. So, at any time, we can go to Google and we can research the name of any alphabet agency in gang stalking, fusion centers in gang stalking. Excuse me, I got indigestion. Pardon me. I'll repeat that. You can go to Google at any time and type in alphabet agencies in gang stalking, and then you can research also as well fusion centers in gang stalking. So, what is this video about, pertaining to it being a addendum to my evidence videos? What I did was I incorporated within the title of this video a tweet link from Twitter, from my Twitter account. And what it does is that it incorporates some text and some screenshots of some information so the lawyers can look at them. The screenshots are literally, one of them is a snap screenshot of a book called The Invisible Crime with Mike Fitzhugh, who was literally on the Coast to Coast AM radio show on Valentine's Day 2013. The other one is a snap screenshot I took of a post that used to be on the older website from UnitedTargetingIndividualsEurope.com, pertaining to the feature of that blog that showcased implants that are put in non-consensual human experimentation gang stalking victims. Okay. And then some other supporting documentation was put along with the snap screenshots as well. Now, so I strongly suggest that you copy and write down the characters of this URL link, this tweet link that's in the title of this Periscope video, and then type it in at your URL address bar. Okay, so you can bring it up. Once you bring it up, you won't have to do any more writing down. All you have to do is click on the links and the screenshots to see what I exposed. Now, what is the subject matter of this particular video? I'm going to give an analogy in this video because I think it's imperative and important for you to understand just one very, very small aspect of this crime, but it's extremely horrific, torturous, traumatizing like you would not believe. You know, targets of this crime wake up every single day, every morning. We wake up in absolute psychological shock and in a psychological traumatized effect, and we stay in it all day long as a result of what we're subject to every day. My name is Leslie Williams. I live in San Diego. I am a non-consensual human experimentation target directly connected to gang-stalking crimes, and I absolutely know it for a fact. The military system works in reference to, I have no money. I have no money to fight a huge crime like this. The government has set up protocols and protective mechanisms, okay, to not only protect this crime, the perpetration of this crime in court, but it is also using the courts to vilify the target with psychiatric reprisals, organized crime syndicated judges, okay, organized crime syndicated prosecutors, and even public defenders. Absolutely, absolutely. Make no mistake about it, and this is all over the internet. And oh, by the way, when you bring this tweet link up in reference to what's incorporated, hold on one second. Yeah, I was fine before I started making this video, and then all of a sudden I got indigestion. Now I'm yawning. Anyways, when you bring that tweet out concerning the tweet that's attached in the title of this Periscope video, not only bring that up, but also scroll within that, because that tweet that's in that tweet chain, it's a big, gigantic, huge tweet chain, okay? And so look at the tweet that's right above that one. It talks about the psychiatric reprisal, and I'm going to interject this real fast, and then I'll get into the subject matter. I got this older tape recorder that I bought from Radio Shack before it went out of business here in San Diego. And I listen to it sometimes at a very low volume when I'm at a wooded area, periodically. And I had taped a show, a Coast to Coast AM radio show. I gotta check to make sure it's still recording. I taped a Coast to Coast AM radio show. Sorry if I seem a little slow, but I'm going to pick up here, okay? Back in 2015, concerning the author John Whitehead from the Rutherford Institute, who was on the show with George Norrie, Coast to Coast AM radio show. He wrote the book, The Battlefield of America, and he was being interviewed by George Norrie in, I believe it was 2015, and he literally talked about how they were setting this guy up because of some of his, the government was, and the police, because of some of his posts that he put on Facebook, okay, that I guess concerning things he saw or observed or deduced pertaining to him being in either Iraq or Afghanistan. He was a soldier, and so he started voicing his opinions about it on Facebook, okay. And so the government got together a SWAT team, and the feds and the local police came to his house and arrested him and put him in a psychiatric ward. And then he also went on to state, just hear me out, he also went on to state in that broadcast that a former NSA employee had contacted him and told him that using the psychiatric reprisal is something that the U.S. government is doing now on a massive scale, and that they got the idea from using the old Russian model concerning how the Russian government used to deal with dissidents, people that descend from the political structures and the bullshit that's attached to it, just like ours. meaning that you're an activist. Okay, so when you go to Google and you type in a gang stalking tech, everything you need to know, which is a documentation file, a manifesto written by a manager of gang stalking crews, okay, you can go to Google and type in a gang stalking tech, everything you need to know. And you bring that up, bring up the link that comes up, and you see it right there once you press enter, okay, by typing that in at Google. And within this manifesto, it clearly states the same thing, that the courts are the favorite place to trap the target. It's called mincing the meat, and that psychiatric reprisals is one of their main methodologies concerning how, for insurance fraud, how they discredit the target and make insurance fraud in the same breath attached to it. Okay, and it literally details that they got this idea from the Russian model pertaining to how the Russian government deals with their dissidents. Now, that's no accident, because it's all over the internet that the NSA is one of the main alphabet agencies that is perpetrating gang stalking. You understand? So I'm going to throw that tidbit in there. Yesterday, I spent about 15 minutes looking for that Coast to Coast AM radio show with John Whitehead from the Rutherford Institute, and I couldn't find it. And it could be because you might have to be a member. I searched for it mostly through Google, and I spent I think 1 minute trying to find it through YouTube. Sometimes Coast to Coast AM radio shows are allowed on YouTube. There's a lot of them on there, but I can't. I've only spent 1 minute trying to find it through YouTube. So you could probably go to YouTube and type in Coast to Coast AM radio, John Whitehead, Battlefield America, and see if you can find it. But I'm sure, I'm completely aware that, Mr. Whitehead remembers what he stated in the show. Just bear with me, okay? And that what he stated in the show pertaining to what an NSA employee told him about how the government is currently dealing with individuals that they deem as a threat. Whistleblowers are threats. Okay? Gang stalking victims are also being subject to the psychiatric reprisal for insurance fraud, and to intentionally, with complete malice aforethought and criminal intent, okay, to intentionally, criminally label targets with falsified mental diagnoses. This is done to discredit the target, so if the target ever gets out of hand, for two reasons. So if the target ever gets out of hand, they can petition them into a psychiatric ward. They can even utilize court doctors that are ordered through the courts during a court proceeding, okay, which a corrupt cop can bring you to as a result of a staged event, which is brought about against you as a result of illegal GPS tracking. Every single thing that is done in this crime is a felony. Everything. Okay. So, and then also, though, the illegal criminal falsified mental diagnoses are also for insurance fraud. And you'll notice in this manifesto that they view the psychiatrists, they could literally call the psychiatrists the money bags. Gang stalking is a criminal enterprise. It's got two goals. Three. The first goal is money. Okay? The second goal is to protect all crimes that it perpetrates. Okay? And the third goal is to make sure that the crime is allowed to always continue for the first two reasons. Okay? And the courts, the police, the attorney generals, the district attorneys, the mayor's office, they all know what's going on. They lie about it and call the target crazy, a conspiracy theorist. They know everything that's going on, and they just do not give two shits at all, period. Okay? Governors know about all this that's going on. They don't give a shit either. Excuse my language, please, because I don't swear at all. I only swear when I'm a little upset. and even then, hold on. So I'm going to give you an example in this video about something here. Now, I want you to think about what I'm telling you. Okay? When you look at the neural implants and the ear implants and the brain-to-computer interface implants, and there's also eye implants within the snap screenshots of the tweet link that I put in the title of this Periscope video, you're going to indisputably be able to see that books are being wrote about it, like even including remote brain targeting, which is the title of a great book. That book's got a lot of patents concerning the technologies that are being used on GangStalking victims. Absolutely. And there is not one ghost that walked into any patent office, excuse me, and presented technology and said, I need a patent for it. When you go into a patent office and you're presenting something, you got to show that what you're presenting works in the way, okay, concerning what it is. Okay? Otherwise, everybody would be going into patent offices and saying, I got this thing and it's going to be able to do this, and will you patent it? Okay? So I can claim that it's real. Okay? They're not going to do that because everybody will be committing fraud. Okay? So the reason I brought that up was because when you walk into a patent office, you literally got to show that this stuff exists and what it does. Okay? So if you get the book Remote Brain Targeting by Renee Pittman, you're going to see that practically every single, if I remember right, you're going to see it practically in every single page, patents, the actual patents and patent numbers of the technologies that are all over the internet being implicated, being used to torture GangStalking victims and for the human experimentation. When you see the little microchip that's in Mike Fitzhugh-Bell's head on the cover of his book, The Invisible Crime, when you buy that book, it's only about $20. You're literally going to see x-rays of microchips that were taken out of his body. You can also go to Google and type in the David Larson GangStalking California Target Torture Report, or just type in David Larson California Torture Report. It's a PDF file. Okay, so you can, and there's lawsuits as well all over the internet, because this crime is going on literally everywhere. It's going on all over the country. It's massively going on in California, New York, Texas. There are some states that are worse than others. Okay, it's massively going on in Michigan, California, Tennessee. Okay, so when we look at what I've stated already, this crime is completely covered at every level in the government. Okay, we're targets of this crime, if we're able to work, we're covertly blacklisted from employment. Okay, we are blacklisted for any and all types of uncorrupted medical assistance and law enforcement assistance, and that includes from the prosecutors to the public defenders to the police to the courts and so on. Because the only way that you can torture human beings to death, because they're also taking out life insurance policies on targets as well, in order for you to research on a human being for 10, 20, 30, 40 years, you got to make sure that human being never gets out of it and exposes what and who and how it happened. You understand? Okay. So, let me light the cigarette here. I was feeling pretty bad when I first started making this video, but I'm feeling a little bit better now, and I know I shouldn't be smoking. I apologize, it's taking a little bit of a while to get this video started. Let's see if this video won't broadcast either, because my cell phone is set. Absolutely. Every target that's online right now is complaining about that. Okay, so let me just make sure it's okay. Now, so when you see the pictures and the information that's within the snap screenshot, okay, of the tweet that I incorporated within the title of the Periscope video, I want you to take that, look at it, set it aside for a second, and correlate my follow-up statements right now to it. Organized stalking and GangStalking target individuals were intentionally made homeless. Okay? By and through, but not limited to, how these filthy, criminally insane maggots will covertly collude with property owners, landlords, city inspectors that will happily deem your apartment uninhabitable, so you got to leave. There's techniques that are employed against us and through the tracking of us in order to make sure that no new landlord or property owner will rent to us, okay, in order to keep the homelessness current. And the only time they will allow us to get an apartment is for two reasons, at least. One is to attempt to, if the target's on social services benefits, when you're on social services benefits, and you got a regular income, like let's say Social Security, when you go down and you apply for any type of food stamps or to get assistance with your Medi-Cal coverage, okay, you got to show how much money you make a month, from Social Security, and then you got to present your bills so they can adjust how much you get and what you qualify for, right? So they keep a record of your living situation. So with one of the hundreds of criminal motivations concerning why people are targeted, and one target can be picked for 30 crimes: identity theft, human trafficking, prostitution rings, racketeering schemes, illegal probate control, where what I just stated can also be incorporated, pertaining to those crimes happening to a target once the probate control has been taken care of. Okay, when the target's put in a group home because of it. Okay, human trafficking, identity theft, insurance fraud. You just would not believe what I know. You just would not believe it. Now I am having a bad day in reference to how I feel, and so I'm not exactly expressing myself very well today. So just bear with me though. Now the reason why I made this video is because as a result of us being made homeless, and what I was about to say was, just backtracking for a second, is that once they create the homelessness, they employ very clever techniques to keep the homelessness current. Buying through, but not limited to, privately colluding with landlords and property owners, and they tell them not to rent to us. If they do allow us to get an apartment, what they'll do is they will allow that so the target can get the apartment for 6 months to 9 months to a year, or 3 months or a month. And that is done so the target reports to social services that they got an apartment. Therefore, they're spending more money on bills that then allows them to get more services because they got less money, right? But they also keep track of now that you got a home. Then after they make you homeless again, you got to go down and re-report your new living situation so they can then again readjust your social services benefits. But they keep a record. Target was homeless. Target got an apartment. Target's not homeless again. Target's been homeless for 4 years. Target got an apartment. Target lost it, now homeless again. Now that's done so they can use that type of documentation, the state can, by petitioning the records through the courts to assist them to make it appear that they got all these legal reasons to put the target in a group home, buying through, but not limited to, claiming that the target can't take care of themselves because they're homeless. They get an apartment, then they lose it, then they're homeless, then they get an apartment, then they lose it. Do you see what I'm saying? So they engage in these techniques for the documentation, for the eventual probate control. So they can put the target in a group home and file for federal and state funds in the target's name. So they can then exploit the insurance that's attached to the benefits that have been co-opted from the target and or applied for in the target's name. Okay? And the target is human trafficked in these homes. The target is periodically petitioned back into county mental health for insurance fraud while they're put on psychotropic drugs, and that's done intentionally to disrupt the neurocognitive processes of a target. So it makes them harder to mentally stay calm, and it makes it harder for them to stay physiologically calm while they're being gang-stalked within the group home. They put the target on psychotropic medications in order to affect their cognitive abilities so they don't think about how they can not respond to the provocations in the home, while the body is physiologically reacting to the medications as well because of the side effects. I've seen some individuals on medications where they literally couldn't sit still. So you imagine being on a medication that's cognitively impairing you, your ability to think clearly, okay? Imagine being on a medication that does that doesn't allow you to sit still, while you're living in a home with a bunch of crazies and criminals that run it that are constantly provoking you to act out so they can use that as a normal appearing reason to put you back in the hospital again. Insurance fraud. So they file for federal and state funds in your name. They engage in these repeated schemes in the home for the continued insurance fraud, and then they drug the target's food or drinks, wait until the drug takes effect, and then rate the target, videotape it, and sell to pornography groups. And the human experimentation continues as well. So they're making money off of 4 ways. 4 ways, while the victim is left eating bologna sandwiches and being subject to non-stop experimentation and non-stop mental torture and psychological violence every day in these homes. Non-stop. So if you ever hear a news broadcast or see any information on the internet of people running away from group homes, now you know. Okay? Because what does a rapist do? A rapists will like to take their victims to an isolated environment so they can rape the person in peace. Same concept. Okay? Now, what is incorporated within the snap screenshot and the text that I added to the tweet that is within the title of this Periscope video are little pictures of just a few of, I'd say, at least 75 different types of implants that can be put all throughout the target individual's biological systems. The brain-to-computer interface implants, the stimulated responsive implants, the prosthetic implants, the ear implants, the nasal implants, the bladder implants, the vagina implants. Google sexual stimulation remote neural monitoring and GangStalking. That's done for women and even for men for human trafficking. Okay? And kids too. Now, the reason why I made this video is not just to present to you what I've stated so far, but I want you to think about what I'm saying. When you research what I've incorporated within this video in reference to the tweet link that's in the title of this Periscope video and my statements at Google and YouTube, okay, you're going to indisputably conclude that gang-stalking victims are being tortured, neurologically and biologically tortured every single day, non-stop, including when they're sleeping. Literally. Okay? We're suffering brain damage that we will never recover from. A lot of us are ending up with cancer because of the technologies that are being remotely projected towards us in our biological systems. Absolutely. It's directed energy weapons. It's all over the internet. Okay? So, when you research what I've stated up to this point right now, so far, like when you get done watching this video, and then you research what I've stated in this video up to this point, you're going to flat out deduce that targets of this crime are being tortured. I'm going to make one more addendum to it before I move on to my point. Add as well. So add to what I've already stated the fact that you can go to YouTube and type in OSEA, bioethics issues. And what those are hundreds of videos, okay, of gang-stalking victims testifying before the Bioethics Commission in at least 3 calendar years, 2009, 10, 11. Each video holds at least 3 to 4 to up to 7 target individuals' testimonies. Okay? Every single one of them are saying they're being tortured, stalked, even raped. Absolutely. Rape is a huge aspect of this crime, which is an extreme human rights violation, including gang rape. That's done for traumatization. It's done for disassociation, because in order to neurologically experiment on an individual, okay, for neural encoding and decoding and much more, okay, it's easier for them to do this to a target that's traumatized and disassociated. And rape is one of the worst things that can happen to a human being, especially a woman. Well, I wouldn't say that, because rape is pretty bad for a man too. Okay, so add that into your understanding. Now, I want you to listen to my follow-up statements, because if my follow-up statements don't make you mad, I don't think anything will. Hold on. See, I make videos when I have moments. Just hear me out for a second. I have videos. I make my videos when I have a moment throughout the day. See, I got a migraine right now. This is the 3rd migraine I've had this month, and each migraine can last up to 5 days. So I suggest you go to Google and type in directed energy weapons and migraines. The last one I had just ended 3 days ago, and now I'm coming down with another one. Okay? You would not believe the massive electronic stings and pressures I deal with every day in my ears. So go to Google and YouTube and type in ear implants and gang-stalking and torture. Absolutely. See, human beings aren't stupid. We know, okay, when something is touching our body, we know that it's an external force because we feel it. It doesn't matter how much a lying person in the government will lie and say that this is not really happening. It doesn't matter. Hold on. It doesn't matter. They lie to protect what they're doing. Human beings know. Do you think, here's an example. When you wake up in the morning and you go to start your day, you take a shower, you drink some coffee, you walk up the front door and you get in your car, you go about your day, and at any point during the day, do you honestly think that you're going to think out of the blue that I'm going to make a video stating I got ear implants and that I'm constantly feeling electronic pressure and stings in my ear, okay? And then right after that happens, other things happen. It's their way of activating the implants, which is actually shown in one of the screenshots pertaining to the tweet and the title of this Periscope video, okay? So, do you really honestly think that a human being would make that up out of the blue? Okay, hold on. Now, what the perpetrators in the system will do is say that these are ideations that stem from that stem from symptomologies due to a mental issue. They'll even go into the DSM-5 and give you a convenient label that has symptomologies that showed symptomologies that will try and back up their falsified statements. Absolutely. You would not believe how corrupt and criminal our government is. It's nothing but organized crime. Hold on. Okay. Look, any government that would torture its own citizens, not just even one time in one day, that deserves them a lifetime in prison. But think about it. Every single minute of every single day and night for decades at a time. It's all over the internet. Google it. This crime's been covered on national radio shows. It's been covered on local news broadcasts. It's all over the internet. It's the biggest crime being exposed on YouTube and Google. Most Americans don't know about it, though, because they don't know. You got to have a name in order to research something. So if you've never heard of GangStalking and non-consensual human experimentation, you think you're going to wake up in the morning and say to yourself, well, I'm going to magically know something so I can go research it. You won't know what's going on unless you have a name so you can go then research it to know what's going on. Right? Just like there's hundreds of types of cancers. Okay? You're not going to know most of these cancer names of these cancers by name until you research one cancer online and then maybe end up stumbling. There's a bunny behind me. And then maybe end up stumbling on the names of a bunch of other cancers, and then you'll come aware of what they are. Okay, through research. Same thing with GangStalking. Most Americans don't even know GangStalking is going on and the depth and scope of what's going on because they don't have a name for it yet. Okay? So, here's my subject matter. As a result of what I've stated so far in this video, I've literally described to you torture, manipulation, the intentional creation of homelessness, and how the homelessness is being used as a control mechanism. If you get out of line, we'll track you to your wooded area and stage an event in order to arrest you. Stage probable cause. So they can put you in jail. That in turn affects your benefits. When you're released with no money in your pocket. Okay? Because they could steal everything you got when you're in jail. Absolutely. Make no mistake about it and claim you never had it. And then when you get out, your benefits are gone. Don't think that the government cannot completely destroy your life. So you might think to yourself, well, then I'll go up to a street corner and panhandle. Well, they know your situation because they created through the in real-time GPS tracking of you, in real time, meaning in current time, they know you got this need, money for food. So what they'll do is track you. They know that people are all over California panhandling, so they can easily deduce that that's what you're going to do and prop up social deviants, punks, and criminals to be at the corners of the neighborhoods you're in that would then prohibit you from being able to panhandle, because they want to steer you to an environment where they can control it in order to get the documentation for the probate control. Homeless shelters. They will look. Think about it this way, and then I'll go. Right now in my possession, I got 4,000 audio files of the same exact identical harassment I endure every day, everywhere I go, including at wooded areas. The only way this harassment can be propped up around me is that somebody's notifying and using people for it, right? Now, this means when I walk down the street, when I'm at bus stops, on bus routes, in businesses, libraries, universities, and so on. Now, I could leave here and go to a bus stop, and I'll be gaslighted at least by 6 people on my way to it. By the time I get to the bus stop, which is right off a corner, I'll be gaslighted at the bus stop. The bus comes, I'll be gaslighted by people on the bus. This is gang stalking. So do you honestly think that they would not be able to prop up people on the corner to take over a corner, using them for panhandling, in order to psychologically intimidate me about using the same corner at the same time? The goal is to keep money out of your pocket so you can't survive. So so they can control you through the destitution. So I strongly suggest you research homeless people in gang stalking and punks and criminals and how they're used. Okay, because that's who they'll prop up on the corner to take the corner over. Now that was just an addendum that I just thought of as I was talking. But here's the subject matter. You can go to any government website and look up the law, legal database, and look for the penal codes for illegal lodging, trespassing, or illegal encroachment. Illegal lodging is camping. Okay, even if you just have a sleeping bag you take with you somewhere to sleep. Okay, I got an extremely very small tent. It's almost like a tube. Okay, so I got a very, very, very small tent. I got a sleeping bag that I hide on a specific property. I got them hidden all over San Diego. Okay, but the point being is that you can be arrested for illegal lodging, even if you're just sleeping on a property without a sleeping bag or a tent. I take my tent down every morning. I put it in my backpack and duffel bag. I hide my other shit, which is literally barely nothing, and then I mind my own business when I decide to stay on or go to any other property for the day, so I'm not being directly overtly harassed along my route. Okay, because in gang stalking, they'll stage an event towards you to a wooded area and use that event to call the police, including assaults. Okay, and then the police will come and they'll give you a ticket for illegal lodging, trespassing, or encroachment, and or you'll be arrested. Okay, and if you're arrested, you get the ticket. And the reason why I'm bringing this up is because when you look at those implants from those snap screenshots dedicated to the tweet link that's in the title of this Periscope video, would you consider that illegal lodging, okay, and illegal encroachment and trespassing? I am making a damn good point here. I hope you're seeing it. Flat out. When you bring that tweet link up, and then you remember in your mind that they created the homelessness of me to use it as a control mechanism and for harassment and for the eventual probate control, okay? And then when you look at the implants, and then they turn around, stage an event at a wooded area, and give you a ticket and will also jail you for illegal lodging, trespassing, or encroachment. Do you honestly think that neurological and biological implants is not trespassing? Do you honestly think that it's not illegal encroachment? Do you honestly think that it's not illegally lodging a implant in your biological system for torture? Non-stop. So the next time you see a friggin' police officer go down the street, that cop personally do not ever trust a cop ever for any reason. I don't give a shit how the news portrays them. I could give two shits about how the news portrays them. Okay, I could care less. Why isn't the media exposing that gang stalking victims are being tortured? You cannot have thousands and thousands and thousands and thousands and thousands and thousands of victims all over the internet begging for help, stating that they're being tortured, testifying before the President Obama Bioethics Commission, flat out openly on video, okay, stating they're being tortured. Again, go to YouTube and type in OSEH, bioethics issues. OSEH stands for Organized Stalking Electronic Harassment. And organized stalking is another name for gang stalking. Same exact crime. Just goes by several names. So you have all these victims all over the internet being tortured, yet not one media, not one nationally known or local news broadcast will cover this fact. Okay? But these lying criminal cops will come to you through a staged event so they can have staged probable cause and arrest you, so the results and effects can be monopolized on to take you further down the rabbit hole of this torturous crime, to contain you, to escalate the torture and the exploitation. Yet they'll fucking come to your wooded area, okay, and ticket you and arrest you, including these events causing massive property loss and monetary loss. Okay, sorry I had a mosquito on me. So I want you to think about what I'm telling you. When I get done making this video, I'm a woman. I'm by myself. When I get done making this video, okay, I'm going to be here by myself. When I could be in my apartment, when I could be having healthy, uncorrupted relationships with friends and family, when I could be planning for what's left of my life, My constitutional rights and civil rights are violated to the most extreme level every day. Every day. And I can't get no help. My name is Leslie Williams. I made this video to inform, to expose the truth. And I strongly suggest you research what I've stated. Okay, also look up on the internet remote neural monitoring, voice to skull, V2K, and you can also go to the website surveillanceissues.com. I gotta go because I don't feel good, okay? This isn't the best video I ever made because I don't feel good, and plus I got other stuff to do. So I'll probably make another video tonight, alright? I'll talk to you later. Have a good day.